So if you are learning how to paint, it's most likely that you ask yourself the question already, or that you will ask yourself at some point the question, is ultramarine blue a cool or warm color? So in this video, I'm gonna answer that question. I got this answer from a personal experience, so I don't say it's the right answer or the only answer, but at least it's an answer that really helped me going and moving forward from this question. I don't ask myself the question if ultramarine blue is cool or warm no more. I have my idea, and this I can just paint now, and I don't think of that anymore. So I hope this video will help you solve this issue if it's an issue for you. It's probably not the answer you're expecting, so please stay for the explanation, because probably not the answer you are expecting, but this answer helped me, so I thought I would share what I found, and I hope this gonna help you. First, before giving you the answer, the color temperature is something very complex, and it's actually, in my opinion, very subjective. I just want to mention that a color, it's really hard or impossible to know a color temperature when a color is by itself. To know the temperature, the color temperature of a color, we always need the neighboring color, the surrounding color, to be able to judge the temperature of a color. So this is really important to understand, because by itself we can have a theory about the temperature of a color, but it's never accurate. The color temperature will only be, or will only show itself with the surrounding color. So that said, to keep it short, the answer to that question, is ultramarine blue cool or warm? Well, the answer is simply, it doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter if it's cool or warm. I will show you, I will explain you why right now. But that's the conclusion I came up with, because basically, before having this conclusion, I painted for 20 years without knowing anything about colors. So in the back of my mind, I always thought, when I look at a tropical island, this image of a tropical island, a beautiful island under the sun with the turquoise water, I always thought this blue, the turquoise blue that is in the water, it's actually warm, because when you look at a tropical island, usually it's like a Florida kind of vibe. Well, it's warm, so I always thought that blue was warm. That's where I come from. Where when I started to learn how to paint, when I started to learn oil painting, the books I read, and on certain websites, when I went ahead to choose my colors, my tubes of paint, they were always mentioning that ultramarine blue was warm. So I was very surprised, because I thought, when I started to learn oil painting, I thought it was the opposite. So I decided to reset everything, all my knowledge. When I started to learn oil painting, I said, it's not a problem. I'm just gonna reset everything, think that ultramarine blue is warm, and I go from there. So 3 years passed, and I learned good. I think I was super happy. I'm super happy about my painting. At some point this summer, I watched a few videos where the teacher was saying that ultramarine blue for her was cool. And I was very surprised. I was like, why she said it's cool, ultramarine blue, since all the books I read say it's warm. I got many evidence of it online, that ultramarine blue was considered as a warm blue. And suddenly this teacher that I absolutely like, she's a wonderful teacher, she mentioned that ultramarine blue for her was cool. And I got scared last summer, because I said, wow, I spent just 3 years learning everything, and now I got the opposite advice, that saying that ultramarine blue was cool. So I got very scared, and I kind of stopped watching her video for a little bit, because I didn't want to be destabilized. I thought I was learning good, I was making good progress, and I didn't want everything that I learned for 3 years to fall apart. And luckily enough, in September, I saw that all this didn't matter, and that's the conclusion of my video today. So in September, I met Peter Brown, aka Pete the Street, absolute master of his craft. So Pete the Street, we are painting together in September, and at some point we went to have a beer, and we started to talk about color theory. So at some point we were talking about ultramarine blue, and we are both sharing our idea of ultramarine blue, and I was very surprised when I heard that for him ultramarine blue is a cool blue. You know, this really surprised me, and at the same time it reassured me that this is the conclusion of the video, because when you look at Peter Brown's painting, Peter Brown is an absolute master of plein air painting. So when I heard him saying that ultramarine blue for him is cool, I have other example of master painter that think ultramarine blue is warm. Well, I just realized that basically it doesn't matter if you think it's cool or warm, as long as you stay true to your logic, to basically what you learn, what you have learned. So for me, ultramarine blue is warm, and for him is cool. But when I compare both of our painting, of course his paintings are better, but I'm saying both read correctly. When I paint, I have no problem of finding the tone or the color that I'm looking at. I have no problem finding it, and I use my color theory that I will share on the channel. And so for him, it's the opposite. He has no problem finding the color that he looks at, but he used the opposite color theory. We didn't speak about in depth which color theory we use, but what I'm saying is that we both stay true to what we think. When I mix my color, for me, ultramarine blue is warm, so I use it as a warm blue, and I use the other blue as a cool blue, and it reads correctly, it works correctly. I reach the color that I want when I mix my colors, and for him it's the same. It's just the opposite. He reached the color that he wants. He think ultramarine blue is cool, so he's just gonna stay logic to this, and he's gonna mix his color according to what he think and what he sees, and it's gonna read correctly. His painting reads correctly, my paintings read correctly. So this is at this moment that I realize basically it doesn't matter if you think ultramarine blue is cool or warm, as long as you stay logic to what you've learned, as long as you stay logic to your theory. So if you don't have a theory yet, well, welcome to the channel. I am Mark Jasikovic, and that's what I'm doing on this channel. I share everything I learn in painting, especially focus on oil painting, because this is what I do. So please consider subscribing if this is something you like. There's a lot to come. This year I'm gonna enter more deeply in the color theory, in the color mixing, how I mix my color, how I place my color on the palette. All this, we're gonna see that in this year's video. I will show you how I mix any color from life using a limited palette. So this is what's to come on the channel. I will do a few of these videos of introduction to color theory. That way, when I finally release my video about color mixing, it will be easy for me to refer to a few videos like that. That way, when you learn with me, you know where I stand, and you know that I consider ultramarine blue to be a warm blue. But again, it doesn't matter. You can consider ultramarine blue as a cool blue. You will, even if you learn with me and you still keep in mind that if you wanna keep in mind that ultramarine blue is a cool blue, this will work completely. Even if you learn with me and I think the opposite, it will still work, it will still read properly, and you will see that it works no matter what you think. Because in my opinion, color temperature is something totally subjective. The way we see colors, it changes, you know, depending the person. So it doesn't matter as long as you stay true to your logic. I hope this helped. I know it's probably not the answer you are looking for, but I hope this helped, because at least for me, it really helped me. I don't think anymore at all if ultramarine blue is a cool or warm color. I don't need to know that. I just need to reach the exact color. When I mix my color, I need to reach the color that I want, and as long as I can do that, the rest, the painting should read properly and should be good. So should be okay. The painting should be alright that way. So this is all what matters, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next video.